Welcome to Media Bites. This is Random Rob. Gunslinger Girl is a 2003 anime based on the manga of the same name by Yu Aida. The first season was directed by Morio Asaka, and the soundtrack was written by Toshihiko Sahashi. The main title is the beautiful song The Light Before We Land by Scottish indie band The Delgados. It sets the tone for this unusually evocative series. Gunslinger Girl takes place in Italy and primarily follows Henrietta, a girl who is beaten and raped near to death when her parents are assassinated by anti-government guerrillas. She is taken as a ward of the state by the Social Welfare Agency, which is actually a front for a paramilitary anti-terrorism bureau, which has a team of elite cybernetically enhanced assassins, who are all girls with similar backgrounds as Henrietta. The girls are repurposed, having their memories erased and further brainwashed to bond and defend their handlers, adult male agents who train and mentor them. In the opening episode, Henrietta reacts to a man threatening her handler Jose by gunning down a room full of people, indicating that the trauma of her previous life still exists on a reflex level. The series methodically explores the girls' new lives, their relations to one another, and their forced relationships to their handlers, showing a spectrum of care mixed with dehumanization that gives the narrative a lurid, existential bite. Jose is the kindest of the group. He treats Henrietta like a daughter and tries to instill a love of science and art and music in her, while his brother Jean treats his girl Rico callously and conditions her heavily, to the point that she seems more than a little robotic. We are told repeatedly that the conditioning which makes the girls better at their jobs slowly destroys their mind, and that repeated cybernetic surgeries destroy their body and nervous system. Rather than most anime that presents cyborgs as invincible and near immortal, here the process is like a terminal disease, destructive and ultimately fatal. It adds a layer of pathos and cruel responsibility to the relationships presented. Gunslinger Girl falls into the uncomfortable niche of Lolita anime, but without the overt fetishism or sexualization one would expect from that genre. While themes of child exploitation are definitely present, they are never delivered in a gratuitous, tongue-in-cheek way, but deadpan serious, and this makes the series' detached, gothic feel all the more powerful. It's a serious, at times unrelentingly heavy show, which is what gives it its charm, and if that seems like a paradox, I suppose it is. I was most impressed in the way the show's small budget was implemented. Since fewer frames of animation had to be used, the director chose to go for a cinema verite feel, opting for long takes, broad framing, and shot compositions with a distinct film noir flair. Coupled with a desaturated sepia-tone color palette and sparse dialogue, it gives Gunslinger Girl an introspective, lonely mood. One can feel the influence of directors like Bergman and Antonioni in looking at the way the show is told in its visual terms. A second season was produced by a different production company and featured a more simplified animation and a generic J-pop style soundtrack that was a total departure from season 1. The story was quite good, primarily dealing with the girls hunting a pair of serial bombers, but it lacked the solid tone and artistic design of the first season. Gunslinger Girl is a series where animation is able to tell a story that would be unpleasantly exploitive if it was done live. It is artsy, adult, and ironically unapologetic about its disturbing subtext. It is a rare mood piece that stands above recent films that have approached this genre, and I recommend it to anyone who enjoys anime or cult entertainment. That's all for now. If you liked what you heard, please like this video and like Media Bites on Facebook and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the field provided, and I'll see you next time.